Hi everyone, you are back on DH Newsroom. We are the DH Sports team. Today with me are the two OGs of DH Sports, Sydney Kiran and Madhu Jolly. Today we are discussing the India hosting CWG 2030. I'll throw my first question to Madhu, understanding if you are in favor of such quadrennial event or not.
I'm in favor of CWG only for the simple reason that India want to host the Olympics in 2030, 32. Yeah. So for that, with that in mind, I think this is going to be a trial run for them if they get to host IMC. I'm not saying they're locked in to host the Olympics, but if they get, this is going to be a sort of trial run for them, and which is easy to manage because not many countries are going to be there, and the infrastructure that they get now that can be upgraded for Olympics. It is not going to go waste, in my opinion. So, with that in mind, I think this is not a bad move from the Indian government to have it.
I'll throw the question to Sydney now because I believe there are certain areas that are of concern, and I believe Sydney can throw some light on it.
Yeah, see, I think the first thing is the relevance of Commonwealth Games. Now, we've known that over the last 2 decades, the relevance of Commonwealth Games has drastically come down. And even some of the wealthier countries like Canada pulled out of hosting the Commonwealth Games 2 times. Even Australia, which is going to host the 2030 Olympics, Brisbane, they pulled out of the Commonwealth Games. And one of the main reasons why even the wealthy nation, and mind you, these two countries are not even republic, so they have really, really close ties with United Kingdom. But the reason why they don't want to do it is because of the cost overrun. Uh, Hosting any multidiscipline sports of about 70, 80 countries involves huge amount of cost. And I think the other day, the Gujarat government has said that the estimated cost for hosting this Commonwealth Games is anywhere between 3,000 to 5,000 crores. See, now that's my main area of concern. Now, when you are trying to pump in that much of money, you'll also have to see what are the returns you're going to get from that. Now, firstly, this Commonwealth Games, as I was telling you, it's losing its relevance over the years, and not many elite athletes also compete in Commonwealth Games. So you're not going to get any of your bigger stars coming in competing here. And also, secondly, the Commonwealth Games is also situated in a very weird, in a sense, the scheduling is really bad because it just happens right before the Asian Games. And even if you've noticed, even Indian athletes, some of the elite athletes, most of the top athletes, end up giving the Commonwealth Games a miss because their focus is primarily Asian Games. So you will see that even some of the elite Indian athletes also will not be end up taking part in Commonwealth Games. So I think that's my big area of concern. Like, yes, India has ambitions of hosting the Olympics. This is almost like a recce for them to go ahead and showcase. Yes, they have done it in the past. They did it in 2010, and they've done Asian Games in the past, 1982 as well. But now dynamics have changed completely now. So when a lot of other countries are thinking twice about hosting Commonwealth Games or even competing in Commonwealth Games, for India, for them to be splurging that much money in trying to get that games, I think it's a matter of concern. I feel that that much
I
money could
think
be used elsewhere.
Sydney has made a very valid point there. Although, I mean, something which is very close to my heart in this concern is that I was speaking to the athletes back in 2021 when several sports were omitted from the roster, and many of them said that there are only three events where we can actually earn recognition and get jobs, help us in getting jobs, help in getting prize money from the government. Madhu, I would like to understand where does it stand for athletes like, whether it's weightlifting, wrestling, which is like a happy hunting ground for the Indian athletes. How you look at that situation?
Yeah, Aditya. See, I firstly I just go back to what Sydney said. First of all, he said he has a concern over in or elite Indian athletes not participating. Remember, India is hosting they will be compelled to compete.
Mm.
Right? There is no way. I mean, like even national events, small events, they come and compete because for whatever reason, even though they don't see much value in participating in it. So I will see because India is hosting top elite athletes will be there, all of them, unless there is an injury concern, which is very rare. I'm going to if I my gut feeling is going to be right, then as is again cost of the event 3,000 crore or whatever. As I'm saying, you are only going to have to spend 3,000 crore less when the Olympics come around. That is my only point here. You are going to have a trial run because Ahmedabad is going to host Commonwealth Games. Ahmedabad is going to host Olympics if at all we get it. So the infrastructure is going to be in Ahmedabad. You like it or not, I have my reservations. Ahmedabad getting everything, but that's the reality. We can't get away from that reality for the time being. That said, I mean, like, let's in terms of competition also, I understand it's not Asian Games, it's not even World Athletics or standalone events like World Wrestling Championship and all that. So, but what you gain experience there is swimming. Australia come, long distance running, all the Africans come. Cycling, if you have England and Australia, two of the top teams in cycling. So there is competition. It's not like we don't have any competition there. As I said, there is some exposure that you can get in terms of quality and in terms of running an event. As I said, this is a small event to manage. So if you can pull this off, you know what you have to do when the Olympics come around. That's the bigger challenge. So I have, in terms of getting an idea what you are getting into, and in terms of getting some elite competition in some disciplines, I don't see there is anything wrong in this. And in terms of what you asked about, uh, if I am wrong, weightlifting.
Yeah. Weightlifting,
Weight,
wrestling, I mean, happy hunting ground for even shooting,
yeah,
although I'm not sure if it's going to be part of the roster. But yeah.
yeah, shooting is going to be part of the roster, I'm sure, because India fought for it and hosted it in India. So it was a separate event, if you remember the last Commonwealth Games. Though I'm not sure if it was a medal event, we can confirm it. Uh, India are going to have shooting events. I don't know who are the top countries in Commonwealth Games. Maybe Canada.
India is by far.
Uh,
India is, yeah.
So shooting you leave out. There are Asian Games coming up and all that, so they will host it. And then you have wrestling. Nigeria will be there. Again, I think this is going to be in terms of athletics, swimming. If Australia sends their second run athletes, swimmers, they are going to be way better than Indian swimmers. So there is competition in certain events. I am supporting this event for a totally different purpose. If it was the Olympics were not coming, I would have definitely said this is waste of money. Uh, in fact, colossal waste of money because as Sydney said, this is losing relevance in world sporting events. There's not much competition. So like that way, yeah, I agree with that.
I'd like to understand from Sydney because everything is going to Ahmedabad nowadays, and I can't even recall what is actually Ahmedabad famous for as in terms of sports is concerned. Cricket is the only sport that come to my mind.
See, I think that's the question on everybody's lips right now. I mean, yes, cricket is by far their biggest sport. If I'm not wrong, two-time Ranji Trophy champions, Gujarat. So, and they've had a lot of other. The cricketing culture has always been there, but I really don't know if they've had other sporting culture per se, like say producing boxers or maybe swimmers, weightlifters, wrestlers. That much. In fact, in terms of Ahmedabad itself, the question on even cricket journalists' lips is that why is everything going to Ahmedabad? The 2023 World Cup final happened there. Now the T20 World Cup, which is going to happen next year, that final is also going to be happening in Ahmedabad. I think last time even the IPL, if a venue has a problem, by default the playoffs or the finals end up going to Ahmedabad, and we all know because yes, it does have the biggest cricket stadium uh, in the world, or rather one of the biggest cricket stadium in the world, because really not sure if MCG or this has got the highest seating capacity. But yeah, that's the concern because if India really wanted to do this, I don't know why they don't want to see it in other venues. Say, Delhi already has infrastructure in place, so maybe they could have spent a lot lesser money instead of 3,000 crores, maybe about 1,500 crores, because Delhi already has the thing set up for 2020 Commonwealth Games, which and most of those stadiums and facilities are used by all the top athletes. They've got a wonderful metro system, which also was done up for the Commonwealth Games and has grown abundantly now. Uh, I mean, it's the truth is a very difficult thing to say. So I think that's because the ruling dispensation has a soft corner for Gujarat, and the leaders emerge from there. And I think they want to showcase Ahmedabad has the next big Indian city. So probably that's the logical answer that I can think of. And but before I complete, I just want to ask you two guys one question. Like Madhu, you were talking about competition, right? Now, uh, India definitely has become, it's not a sporting power, but it's slowly emerging as one of the sporting centers. Uh, Thanks to Neeraj, who's done well in athletics. He's been a beacon of hope for us. And even a lot of other disciplines, India showing a lot of promise. Now, this is my thing. Like, instead of hosting the Commonwealth Games, now next year, India is going to, for the first time, hold a silver level athletics event, if I'm not wrong. Aditya? Yeah, and
Yeah.
then they also bid for the World Relays. Now, these are the events which definitely will get big ticket players to come and compete here. Now, just like that, shouldn't could India have ended up doing it like, say, try to bid for a World Wrestling Championship or maybe a World Badminton Championship? All these independent events by which those athletes also will, the Indian athletes also will get to compete against the best in the world, have better chance of winning medals. And at the same time, you'll be getting all the elite athletes for sure to be coming and competing there. This is something that I want to ask both of you.
I
Yeah,
mean,
Aditi, go first.
sure. So, I mean, like I was covering the World Asian Swimming Championship in Ahmedabad in October, and my observation was that not all the elite names made it. You know, especially because when China came, they were more focusing on their Chinese national games.
Yeah,
So, I'm not certain if it always works. I mean, we have Delhi has hosted Asian Wrestling Championship in the past, boxing World Boxing Championship in the past, and often the big names are missing because I mean, from what I've understood so far, the bigger names often focus on Olympics, and they often tend to miss these major events. So you often don't get the right idea of the competition, and also this creates a fake environment that, like for example, shooting back in Tokyo Olympics, we all thought they're going to win a lot of medals because of the number of medals they were racking up at the World Championship and the World Cup. But
right.
once we reached the Olympics, it all became blank. They did not stand a chance, barring a few. So often that's the problem, and of course, the recognition in the audience is missing as well. People are interested in CWG, people are interested in Asian Games, but how many are really interested in World Championship? Like, for example, Mirabai Chanu won World Championship gold medal twice, if not thrice. Correct me if I'm wrong there. So but nobody really knows. They all know that yeah, she won Tokyo Olympic silver medal. So yeah, these are certain things that often is missing. The charisma is missing in these tournaments.
Yeah, to continue from where Aditya left, yeah, I totally agree with him. The standalone events, world championships or elite events, whatever they are, you're not sure you are going to get the top athletes in the world. It again, it all depends upon the scheduling. Like China wanted to focus more on their national games than Asian championships. So you can imagine the big gap, the gap in quality here. The Asian Championships, they think, is not worth sacrificing their national event. Then if you go to Japan, Japan sent very junior swimmers because they were testing those swimmers to train them for next Olympics, right, Aditya?
Yes.
So I mean, like these standalone events are good. I'm totally in support of them. But again, as I said, they are standalone events. Infrastructure is already there. You have some 100 athletes coming at the max. I'm saying, if there is a wrestling event, if there are some 500 athletes coming, if there is a shooting event, if there is an athletics, there will be some 1,000 athletes max. These these are easy to manage. Even I mean, like, even if the top athletes are coming, well and good, let them come. We have a sense of competition. But these events are easy to manage. Whereas a multi-sport event like Commonwealth Games or Asian Games, they need a lot of infrastructure, a lot of logistics planning, a lot of investment, manpower investment, volunteers. There are, you have to have so many things in place, right, for an event to go, to be held without any hiccups. So I think, as I said, I go back to the same thing again. It's a trial run for them. It's not like they want to host it because it's a prestigious issue. Its timing was such. I mean, like they wanted to host the Olympics, and then this came up for bidding. So
They took the
they lapped
chances.
it up because they knew
Yeah.
nobody is going to take it. Just I think Nigeria,
Yeah, Nigeria is the
Nigeria,
only
Kenya
competition.
wanted to host
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
If I am right, Nigeria wanted to host it.
Yeah,
Yes,
Nigeria was
yes,
one
they
of
do.
the
They do.
I mean, like I think that's
co-bidders.
a fake thing. I think
Yeah.
just to let's to show that there is a
There
competition.
was competition.
I think nobody would have wanted to host it. So India knew they are going to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so be it. I mean, like as I said, yeah. My only issue is the place. Ahmedabad is a great place actually, and let me tell you, it's fantastic infrastructure, great food. The only problem is it's a dry state.
Yeah.
Every time you go, you struggle for that.
Yeah. But apparently, if you're flying from abroad now, Ahmedabad airport has a duty-free place, so you don't even have to go and get a permit.
Audience
So I
is
think,
taking note.
That has always been there. I mean, like,
yeah. So I think
and
No,
I
I
tell you
mean,
one thing: if Indian passport holder will get, I mean, no, I don't know. Indian passport holder would get only one
I'm
bottle,
taking all the notes. This is important.
and if you are a foreign passport holder like the US or the UK, you got two bottles.
Okay.
no, I think now it's
So,
two,
so
Madhu, because
if you are, there is also discrimination within you.
yeah.
If you are an Indian, you are discriminated against in India.
Perks of being an Indian. Like before we wrap things up, I wanted to ask this one question, which I'll point it towards Madhu. Want to understand why Bangalore never featured in this conversation? Why not CWG in Bangalore? I like to understand.
Let them first host national games
National
properly.
game. Yeah.
Because I tell you, as much I love Bangalore, being projected as a future sports destination, the infrastructure sucks. The Kantirava Stadium that was built for the 2000, uh, not 2000, 1997 National
No,
Games.
1996, Madhu. I think
Yeah,
96, 97. Yeah.
97 National Games that has seen any hardly upgradation. Maybe they replace turf once it is completely worn off. You see once it rains heavily, the stadium gets flooded.
Yeah.
I mean, like it is so badly maintained.
Yeah.
So to think that Bangalore, can come in the conversation when it comes to multi-sport event of this magnitude, a lot of things have to go in favor of Bangalore. Just weather is not going to help.
Yeah.
A
I think
thought to
that
ponder for the Karnataka government there. Really interesting conversation we had there. Thanks to Sydney and Madhu for really opening up things about things we really don't really want an answer about, but we are really, we got some really good clarity over there on the matter. Uh, Thanks for everything, Sydney and Madhu.
Thank you,
This is your
Aditya.
host.
Yeah, thank you, Aditya. Thank you, Madhu. See you guys.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.